All right, well, now we know what type of babes we're talking about. Actual babies in actual places where people traditionally don't think babies go. Or I guess babies are brought. Babies don't really go anywhere, do they? Baby just walking down to the club. These days, the rising costs of childcare are actually causing more issues than just the parents freaking out. It's been, hey, I want to go out, but I have a baby. Let me go out and go to the bar or go to the restaurant or go to that place that is usually meant for more adult crowds and actually bring my baby with me. Because I don't have enough money or enough resources or ability to get childcare. And so this has been actually kind of getting popular. Suddenly you'll see a baby somewhere where traditionally you don't. Obviously, for the parents, this can be kind of a bit of a freedom rush, I guess. They're like, hey, I get to bring my baby anywhere. However, it's starting to get some, I don't want to say feedback, resistance. I think that would be a more negative word because that's what it is. People don't want babies where they are having their nice adult time. Whether it be some quiet time or party time. They don't want to have to worry about a baby being near them. They don't want to worry about being quiet. They don't want the baby to be loud when they want to be quiet. And so there are definitely a lot of sort of people being rubbed the wrong way. And so this has led to some businesses making no kid zones. And by zone, it means the entire building. But it's basically saying kids are not allowed in this establishment because we want to cater towards those who want the adult atmosphere without the possibility of kids running amok from the parents maybe not paying attention too much or any other problems that might crop up with children being indoors. And this has also led to a new controversy of should we or shouldn't we have no kid zones. However, on the flip side, some businesses are embracing this trend and saying, now we are going to put kid zones, which is a part of the building which is more catered towards children. Like, hey, you can go drink over here, parents, and your kids can go play over here. I don't know about England, but in the US, McDonald's used to have a play place.
Yes, yes.
I don't know if they have anymore, but they used to have it, and it was like the number one reason to visit McDonald's for us kids.
Yeah.
We're like, yeah, we get fries, yeah, but hamburger, whatever. Where's the play zone? So maybe this trend is coming back, which would be interesting to see. But yeah, that's the whole thing. We got a couple controversies, a couple different opinions, more than one, I'm sure, or more than two, and then businesses who may or may not be loving children. Yeah. Now, if you were a parent, or if you are a parent, would you want to visit establishments that are meant for adults, like bars or something, with a child?
I like the idea of parents spending a lot of time with their children and doing social activities with their children. Again, from my experience in England, when pubs have Sunday events, Sunday barbecues, like I loved going to these events with my parents. As a little kid, there'd be stuff, bouncy castle and things for the kids to do, and then the barbecue going on, and this is all in the pub garden, and so a lot of the adults were having a few drinks, and it was so much fun to do that together. But equally, as a parent, do I want to spend all my social time with my kid? No, not all the time. Sometimes they can come, and sometimes they can have a playgroup or a nanny or a babysitter or something else, and I can have my free time.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I think so too.
What do you think?
like you said, I think there's great learning opportunities for children as they go to these new places that they typically don't go to. But in the end, as a parent, you still want some adult time. And I know that's like, oh, but I don't have enough money for a babysitter, or I don't have enough, opportunity to find one because they're in demand. And that's a hard issue. And then at that point, you can start to figure out how you can spend your time with your kid and also have that sort of renewal time as well. But yeah, if it were a perfect world, sometimes bars, sometimes home.
When I was young, I didn't grow up with particularly rich parents, but I remember they had this babysitting circle. So a group of parents in the local neighborhood, kids about the same age, so they could take it in turns to look after each other's children and let the other parents go out for the evening. So there was no money involved. They had these little tokens. So if you did a babysitting session for somebody else, you'd get a token, and then you could exchange it with a different. I love that. That was just a socially organized thing to help each other have a bit of a break, a bit of adult time.
I can't imagine that happening nowadays. It's getting harder and harder to imagine like that type of community.
But we've got online and people.
We do have online.
You know, I think people, they meet each other when their kids go to like these sort of nursery groups or clubs. They go to things and parents meet one another and, you know, I think people trust each other more than you reckon.
Yeah, maybe you're right. And maybe I'll trust someone if I have a kid. But what do you think of these no-kid zones? Are they something that should be there or shouldn't be there?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I don't want to constantly be looking out for other people's children. I'm not a parent, but and I also need adult time. You know, I need spaces that I can go to where I can not have to deal with kids. I think that's fair. I think parents and non-parents need that.
Yes. And what do you guys think? Do you think these no-kid zones are a godsend, or are they something that should be fought against, maybe even protested against, as it has happened a little bit in the past? Go ahead and let us know by yelling at your screen. We might hear you someday in the future if we're driving next to you as you're yelling. Or maybe we're in the house next to you and you're like, go ahead and check out that vocabulary. Memorize it as best as you can. There's a few in there that you could use in your everyday life quite easily. So we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.
Abound.
Abound.
Break the mold.
Break the mold.
Run amok.
Run amok.
Bemoan.
Bemoan.
Astronomical.
Astronomical.